You're watching Good Evening San Diego.
Starting today, the Poway Unified School District is expanding its reopening plans for middle and high schools. KUSI's Elizabeth Alvarez was at Del Norte High School earlier today, where the school celebrated the big return.
Del Norte High School students were welcomed back to campus in a big way. There was band music, cheerleaders, and the dance team out front cheering on students and staff Monday morning.
I haven't seen this many group of people in like a year.
Definitely excited to go back.
It's like the first day of school, you know. Didn't sleep last night, probably all weekend, just in anticipation of today.
Principal Brian Schultz says the staff is just as excited that the Poway Unified School District is now able to move forward in its phased reopening plan for middle and high schools. San Diego County is now in the red tier, and a recent lawsuit against the state of California went in favor of kids returning to in-person learning. So here they are.
Right now we have our kids split by A and B cohorts by alphabet, and so in order to minimize the number of students that are on campus, and so we have them split by A and B, and so we have our A cohort coming to school on Monday, Wednesdays, and our B cohort coming on Tuesday, Thursdays, with Friday being asynchronous.
Poway Unified Superintendent Marianne Kim Phelps says the hope is to soon be able to bring back all students before the end of the year. As far as why the district can't do that now,
Part of it is all of the safety protocols that are in place and the number of contacts that kids can have and the number of kids that can be allowed in a classroom. So all of those guidances have started to loosen up, and so now with the social distancing loosening up to 3 feet, that allows us to have more kids on campus. And so, you know, hopefully we're all moving in the right direction.
about half of Del Norte's 2,500 students chose to continue with virtual learning. The other half is now stepping onto campus.
Seeing our friends and seeing teachers and being able to talk to our peers and ask questions in a normal environment.
An exciting and emotional time, not just for students, but for the staff as well.
You know, it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year for everybody. And you know, we go into this profession for very specific reasons. And, you know, the last year was not it. And so just excited to be able to provide this opportunity.
Best principal ever. I wish my principal was like you.
At Del Norte High School, Elizabeth Alvarez, KUSI News.
Well, several other North County school districts are, in fact, preparing to reopen their doors, including Carlsbad Unified. And now with changes from the CDC over distancing guidance, many are getting ready for what they're expecting is some pushback from teachers' unions. Joining us now to discuss is one of the co-founders of Open CUSD, Sharon McKeeman. Sharon, so good to talk with you tonight.
Good to talk to you, too.
All right, so give us an update. Where are we at with Carlsbad Unified?
Well, we are very thankful that the CDC and the CDPH are now catching up to where the majority of Carlsbad parents have been at for most of the school year, which is that 3 feet or even, less in some circumstances is safe, and it's absolutely necessary to get our students back to full-time in-person education. So we're thankful that our superintendent moved quickly and urgently to go ahead and get our students back on campus for hybrid last week. And this is their first full week of hybrid. We're excited to see all those pictures of kids heading, back to school for their first day. But the next step is 5 days a week, and we need that. Our kids need that really urgently.
How have your kids been? Just even 1 week back with, I understand the hybrid, maybe 2 days. Most of them seem on a 2-day schedule. But how have they changed just in that short time alone?
Well, I think just there's a lot of relief, and they're starting to gain their faith back that the adults, they care, they understand this year has been really difficult for them. And, there's also there's anxiety there as well, because it is the first day of school and they've been through a really traumatic year. And we need to understand that they're still at home 3 days a week on distance learning, and their teachers are having to juggle both distance learning and in-person learning in the classroom. So once we get back to everybody in the class every day, it's going to be a lot better for them. I saw that with my elementary student. The hybrid was good for a few weeks, but there was such a relief when he was back full time.
Yeah, as a parent, consistency is half the battle. Whatever it looks like, just having that schedule so they know what's coming up and that you can adapt to it. I mean, that's always been the key for me and my kids. Do you find the same thing for you?
Absolutely. And, it's been really difficult for everyone this year. The newest guidance said that the CDPH put out this newest guidance to align with the latest science and with the CDC. And we know I was just speaking to a pediatrician the other day at one of our rallies, and she was saying, that they've been saying all year that this has been damaging to children's mental health. It's even to their physical health as kids are sitting in front of the screen more. And she's just talking about how she feels like, people aren't listening to the pediatricians that are speaking up and saying that there's a concern, and that the kids, the mental health experts as well, that are just saying we need to get them back to normalcy. We need to get them back to their lives. We know that they're not super spreaders. There hasn't been any incident of on-campus transmission. So we know it's safe to do so. And we know, just how necessary it is for our kids.
You mentioned that the next hurdle is basically going back to 5 days. Do you think that's potentially going to happen within the next month, or what are you basically gearing up for?
I will say that we are very hopeful and we are expectant, and we are going to keep advocating for our students like we have been all year. So CUSD has a board meeting this Wednesday, and each school is supposed to be providing in-person education to the greatest extent possible. And at this point, now that's back on the district's plate, because the state is giving every school in the state basically the ability to open up. And so it's up to the districts to urgently make those game plans and get the kids back on school, or they're going to need to explain why, they don't have them back on campus. Why, is there some reason? But, we don't see any reason. That the social distancing now has been, it allows that. And also, CUSD has already said that they have all the safety precautions in place. So now they just need to make it happen for our students.
Yeah, you and 49 other states and multiple school districts, some of which have been back since September. It's really a shame to see that San Diego, Carlsbad, we're definitely lagging on this front. So hope there's going to be some positive momentum. Sharon, thanks so much for your time tonight. I appreciate all the work you're doing on behalf of our kids.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.